My girlfriend and the movie star kissed. Their cars crashed in a party. She told me not to mind. I turned around and proposed to the school beauty. Who knew the school beauty was not only a heiress but also the protector of her friends? Later, when my girlfriend went bankrupt, she cried, apologized, and begged to come back. I glanced at the school beauty, Ivy, who was laughing mockingly in the luxurious private room. Everyone was noisily cheering as Lily was embraced by the movie star, Kane. His arms wrapped around her slender waist, her long, soft hair falling over his chest. She lifted her beautiful face, but her eyes were only on me. Kane seized the opportunity and lightly kissed Lily's lips. Lily smiled and said, "Everyone, please don't tease. Lily will be shy." Because of Kane's words, Lily leaned close to his ear and whispered something, creating an atmosphere that was both seductive and ambiguous. Everyone cheered and praised the perfect couple, a match made in heaven. Lily was the heiress of a prestigious family in Wind City. I had seen too many men try to approach her. As long as they suited her taste, she wouldn't refuse anyone. But bringing someone to a class reunion and making it public like this was the first time. She clearly knew how special she was to Kane. This specialness was something I, her nominal boyfriend, could not compare to. Everyone present knew about the relationship between me and Lily, but they all indulged her. She liked to play around. It wasn't the first time or the second. Her friends had comforted me. "David, Lily is just like that. You should be more tolerant. The person she loves most is still you." The private room was filled with laughter and chatter. Only Nick standing next to me was furious. He pushed everyone aside, angrily questioning Lily. "Lily, what are you doing? Where do you put David? What do you consider him?" The entire room fell silent instantly. The gossiping eyes all turned towards me. Lily lazily smiled. "Oh, David is here too? Sorry, there are too many people, so I didn't see you." She shrugged. "The relationship between me and David, everyone knows, right? Just an arranged marriage partner. Not close at all." Her words made the whole room burst into laughter, and many people whispered and gossiped. How could Lily still like David? Even if the families are like that, he is quite capable to endure for so long. Lily has changed so many people beside her, and he has never complained. Nick was so angry that his face turned red. "Lily, don't forget, you were the one who pursued David back then. You said he was your ideal man." Lily raised an eyebrow, looked at me, and smiled mischievously. "Really? Did I say that?" But I didn't just say that to him alone. The private room erupted in laughter again. The dull pain in my heart gradually disappeared. Lily's face became increasingly blurred. Loving someone until you no longer love them. It turned out to be such a long and drawn-out process. Time after time, she sprinkled salt on my wound. "Lily, don't you know that I also get tired? Everyone has their own ideal person." At 18, Lily said that her ideal man was me. The first time I met her was when I was 10 years old, at a party. At that time, my father's company opened a branch in Wind City. Her father and mine had been friends for many years. Her whole family came to the welcoming party. Lily was small and beautiful, but also arrogant and unruly. She broke several of my toy models, and I was furious. Seeing me really angry, she looked flustered, reached out, and poked my face. "Hey, you look even uglier when you're angry." Because of that, I was angry at her for a whole week and didn't talk to her. Lily saw that I was ignoring her and relentlessly pursued me for half a month, continuously coming to find me and even buying a pile of robots to coax me. Once after school, I was pushed down by a chubby boy from the next class and scraped my knee. Lily picked up a stone and threw it at him, angrily pinning him to the ground. Let me tell you, only I am allowed to bully David. Try touching him again. At that time, her thin back standing in front of me seemed to be glowing. Then she turned her head, frowned. "David, be my follower. From now on, I will protect you." Later, fearing that I would be bullied, she made a fuss, demanding Uncle Kane transfer her school. To make it more convenient, she moved directly into my house. Those days passed very happily. Every time I saw her chatting with my father on the sofa, making my father laugh heartily, I felt extremely happy. The person I loved also loved me so much. But now, thinking back, it turned out that everything was just distant and unattainable. Entering high school, the tomboy Lily grew long, smooth black hair. Her figure, originally slender, attracted countless gazes from male students every time she cheered in basketball games. But she always refused all gifts and drinks from them, publicly declaring, I only drink water bought by David. That declaration made the group of boys whistle and tease me. I just wore headphones, sitting aside, continuing to ponder over my homework. At that time, I was preoccupied with exams, completely oblivious to Lily's thoughts. Lily was really very smart. She was the type of person who could get high scores even without focusing on studying, while I had to work hard to keep up with her. She often teased me for being stupid, telling me not to try too hard. In a family, only one smart person is enough. She refused the study abroad opportunity arranged by Uncle Cain and got scolded severely, clearly crying until her eyes were swollen, but still foolishly smiled at me. After the college entrance exam, her score was much higher than mine, yet she stubbornly chose the same university as me. I asked why. Lily smiled and looked at me, her eyes sparkling like stars. David, guess. Guess right, and you'll get a reward. I shook my head, saying I couldn't guess. Lily chased after me, sighing, sure enough, you're still as stupid as ever. After graduating from high school, Nick organized a 3-day, 2-night camping trip. I promised Lily's mother that I would take good care of her. She was overjoyed, clinging to me throughout the whole trip. At dinner, everyone in the class drank a little wine. Only Lily didn't touch a drop. In the end, she was the one who helped me, who was drunk, back to the homestay. Back in the room, I muttered, telling her to go back, that I wanted to shower. Not hearing her reply, I stood up and pushed her out. At this point, I was much taller than her, easily grabbing her wrist. But Lily suddenly closed the door and stood right in front of me. I looked down at her. Suddenly, she tiptoed and kissed my lips. The alcohol in me sobered up by half. Lily curved her lips and lightly kissed my cheek. I brushed her hand away. Lily, how can a girl do that? But this time, she didn't hesitate anymore, accurately placing her lips on mine. It was just a light touch, but I could feel her breath, hurried and hot. My whole body suddenly stiffened. I chuckled softly, so even the arrogant Lily has moments of fear. Before I could say anything, she hurriedly opened the door and ran away. This little girl was really embarrassed. That night, she posted on her social media, I have touched my ideal man. Everyone thought she had met someone she liked. Only I knew that this touch was not meeting, but touching in the literal sense. On the 3rd day after entering university, I was confessed to by a senior right on the sports field. Lily laughed and said to the senior, confessing to someone else's boyfriend? Isn't that very bad? Then she immediately pulled me away from the scene. As soon as we reached the rest area, she angrily pushed me onto a bench, leaned down, and kissed me. She kissed me lightly and then asked, why did you go off alone with that senior? Instead of that, why not love me? She spoke with an arrogant attitude, as if I didn't agree, she wouldn't let it go. Nick recounted that day, when he passed by, he saw Lily kissing me, but her face was flushed, and so we secretly got together. Lily once sighed and said, why can't we be public? I didn't know how to tell her that although my father liked Lily very much, he once said that what he wanted was a daughter like Lily, not a daughter-in-law like her. He told me to keep my distance from her. At that time, I didn't understand what that meant. In our 2nd year of dating, Lily's father committed suicide. The reason was that he discovered her mother was having an affair and secretly transferring company assets. I hugged Lily tightly. She sobbed and said to me, David, I only have you left. Don't leave me. My heart ached. I hugged her face, gently saying, if you don't push me away, I will never leave you. But no one expected that her mother's lover would actually be my father. My mother, after knowing about it, immediately divorced and chose to go abroad. Lily and I ruined my father and her mother's wedding, and we were chased out by security. She looked at me with red eyes, gritting her teeth. David, I will definitely make them pay. At that time, I didn't know that in the them she spoke of, I was also a part of it. From then on, Lily was rarely seen at school. She threw herself into work, spending 4 years becoming the top heir of the Lee Corporation in Wind City. No one knew what she had gone through. My father's company was continuously suppressed, and the Shin family was on the verge of collapse. But Lily didn't seem to notice. She didn't mention breaking up, but she completely changed. All the men who approached her, as long as they had value to exploit, she wouldn't refuse. I knew that to help Lee Corporation develop, she had to sacrifice a lot, including herself. I blamed myself for being useless, for letting her continue to torment herself. I had thought about breaking up, but she was Lily, the girl who once considered me more important than herself, The girl who was willing to give up inheriting Lee Corporation just to stay in the country with me. We had been together for so long, I always thought I understood her better than anyone. As long as I was patient enough, she would definitely come back to me. But I was wrong. Perhaps because she had met too many types of people, from acting to pretending, and then gradually becoming real, that one day she could calmly be with someone else without caring about me at all. And I, besides silence and helplessness, could do nothing else. I had also thought about breaking up, just hoping she could let herself go. If I could only bring her pain, then I'd rather leave. I decided to have a serious talk with her, but that night, as soon as I entered the house, I saw clothes scattered all over the floor. Lily was hugging the Mayor Lee's son, sleeping on the wedding bed that we had once chosen together. I proposed breaking up. She laughed coldly, using my newly established company to threaten me. David, besides me, no one dares to marry you. If you dare to marry someone else, I will make your company and the Shin family be buried with you. I was silent. This company was founded by Nick and me together. He had sold his house and poured all his savings into investment. It was very hard-earned to achieve today's success. Although it couldn't compare to Lee Corporation, it had already gained some reputation. Moreover, tormenting me was also one of Lily's pleasures. Recently, for a period of time, she took large doses of sleeping pills, and then when she started torturing me, she stopped taking them again. Next was publicly appearing beside countless different men. On the street, she kissed a top celebrity right in front of the camera, appeared with a CEO at a hotel, and in a car, embraced a young man. All those photos were displayed in front of me. She just indifferently said to the media, "They are all misunderstandings. I have a fiancé." Lily was deliberately doing this. She hated my father, hated him for taking her mother, for forcing her father to death, hated my family for moving to Wind City, hated her for moving into my house for me, unintentionally creating countless opportunities for them. Not only my father, but also me, his only son, had to bear the consequences. I snapped back to reality, looking at everyone in the luxurious private room. Seeing that I didn't speak, Lily lazily chuckled. "David, you won't mind, right?" She had said this sentence many times in front of the media. "David is very generous. He won't mind." Finishing her words, she lowered her head and gently bit Kane's neck, then calmly looked towards me. Nick angrily cursed, "Shameless." I held him back, shaking my head, once again facing Lily's gaze as she wished. I smiled. "It's okay, Lee, please continue." Lily slightly curled her red lips. "See, I knew it. David is so generous. He will definitely say it's okay." A young master from a wealthy family beside them chimed in. "If I had a fiancé like Lee, I wouldn't mind either. Rich and beautiful. Just playing around a bit when you're older. What's the big deal? Kiss her. Kiss her." Lily put her arms around Kane's neck and gave him a deep kiss. Kane also enthusiastically responded amidst the resounding cheers. I quietly left. My back bumped into something, painfully stinging my eyes. A pleasant voice sounded. "Are you okay?" I lowered my head and saw a person holding a service tray, tall and slender, with delicate features, clear eyes, and fair skin. A few strands of hair fell beside her cheeks, adding a bit of charm. She looked at me, her eyes devoid of emotion. Even though she was wearing a staff uniform, she exuded arrogance. I shook my head. She frowned. "You're crying." I suddenly laughed. "Little sister, I'll pay you 10,000 yuan a month to marry me, okay?" Nick immediately pulled me back. "David, are you crazy? No matter what, you can't destroy yourself for Lily by randomly marrying a stranger." But now, if I didn't leave her, Lily would never let me go. This was the only way. The girl in front of me still didn't speak, only using her eyes as if confirming whether I was an idiot or not. I smiled. "I know you need money very much. We will have a fake marriage for a year. In exchange, I will give you a house." She hesitated for a moment, then suddenly smiled. A dimple faintly appeared on her face, very pretty. She suddenly leaned closer to me, her voice soft. "Fake marriage. Do we need to fulfill marital obligations?" Her question shocked me. Before I could answer, I heard Lily's sarcastic voice ringing out. "David, are you planning to break off our engagement to be with a waitress?" I grasped the girl's hand, looking directly at Lily. "Not be with, but marry." As soon as my words fell, the entire private room collectively gasped, then started buzzing. David is crazy? Want to marry a waitress? Endured for so many years, Probably couldn't take it anymore. Planning to retaliate against Lily? But Lily doesn't care at all. If I continue to endure, maybe one day I can still endure until things change. Lily suddenly burst out laughing. David, you said you want to marry her? Okay, when you hold the wedding banquet, I will come to drink wedding wine. We will register our marriage tomorrow. If CEO Lee wants to celebrate, just transfer the money. Saying that, I took the girl's hand and left the room. Nick hurriedly chased after us. In the private room, everyone began to whisper and gossip. David is probably just angry for a moment. How could he really marry a stranger? Moreover, a waitress? He must be crazy. Lily's face gradually became unsightly. She picked up the wine glass on the table and fiercely threw it to the ground, angrily shouting, "Get out, all of you." The people in the private room immediately scattered and fled in panic. Kane carefully hugged her, gently comforting, "Lily, don't be angry. David is probably just joking. How could he give you up? No one cannot love you." Lily took a deep breath, looking straight at Kane, her voice cold. "You're right. David absolutely cannot marry her. He is just finding a way out for himself. If he wants to play, then let him play a little." After returning home, I asked the girl's name. She said her name was Ivy. She didn't know that this was actually the third time I had met her. The first time was in high school, the second time was in college, and the third time was tonight. But perhaps this was the first time she saw me. The next day, I took Ivy to register for marriage. Then I posted a photo on social media. It was a photo taken on the balcony this morning. She was wearing the nightgown I had once bought for Lily, but Lily had disliked it and never worn it even once. When Lily received the call from her assistant, she was kissing Kane, impatiently answering the phone, her tone impatient. "What?" The assistant anxiously reported, "David has really married that waitress." Lily paused, but then confidently replied, "Impossible. I know David very well. He doesn't dare to marry someone else." It's true. They registered their marriage this morning. He just posted it on social media. Looking at the photo, it seems like that waitress stayed overnight at his house. Lily's whole body stiffened, her hands slightly trembling. She took a deep breath, then slowly ordered, "Immediately investigate whether David is acting or not." The assistant carefully replied, "CEO Lee, I've been to the Civil Affairs Bureau to confirm. They're really married." "Impossible." Lily roared. "What kind of work are you doing? Didn't you have someone following David? Why did you still let him go register marriage with someone else? A bunch of useless people." The assistant hesitated. "But last night you said if David got married, you would go to his wedding banquet. So the bodyguards just thought it was not important and didn't stop him." Lily was so angry that she slammed the phone down. Kane hugged her from behind, coaxing, "Lily, don't be angry anymore. David is just playing tricks. In a few days, he will definitely come back." Lily suddenly turned around, angrily shouting, "Get out." She went berserk, smashing things in the room. Kane was so frightened that he hurriedly ran out. After venting, her eyes stopped on the photo placed on the bedside table. It was a photo of David when he first entered university. He was wearing a white shirt, tall and slender. The smile on his lips was strangely beautiful. She narrowed her eyes, her voice cold and terrifying. "David, do you think that way I will let you go? You are mine." After marrying Ivy, I took her to buy wedding rings. The store staff kept praising us. "What a talented couple. Sir and madam, these are custom-made rings from our store. Only one pair in the world, symbolizing eternal love." The staff continued, "The size of these rings perfectly fits your hands, as if they were tailor-made." I looked at the ring, asking Ivy, "Do you like it?" She smiled. "Anything is fine. Don't be too wasteful." I looked at the ring on my hand, recalling the last time I came here with Lily. At that time, she also liked this style, but the size was too small and didn't fit. So in the end, she chose a different style. Some things seem to be predetermined. "Choose this one." Saying that, I pulled out my card and gave it to the staff. Ivy leaned closer, curiously asking, "David, how much are these rings?" 300,000 yuan. She was shocked. "So expensive. How many trays do I have to carry to earn enough?" I smiled. "Don't worry. After marrying me, you don't need to carry trays anymore. If you want to work, you can, or you can learn more and open a shop. I will support you." Ivy looked at me doubtfully, then chuckled. "David, isn't this just a transaction? Do you need to treat me so well?" "It's okay. My wife deserves the best." The staff returned my card. I helped Ivy put on the ring. She took my hand, placed them together, and took a photo. "It looks quite good." At this moment, I saw someone walk into the store. She feigned surprise when she saw me. Eve, Lily's former henchman. She had often borrowed Lily's name to mock me before. Isn't this David? What's wrong? Lily doesn't want you anymore, so you've fallen into a situation where you have to marry a waitress. I immediately pulled Ivy behind me, shielding her, coldly looking at Eve. My business is none of your concern. Instead of meddling in other people's affairs, why don't you go flatter Lily? Maybe you can still get some lucrative projects. Eve angrily cursed. David, who are you scolding? What do you have to be arrogant about? Isn't it just a stray dog who silently endured for so many years, only to be kicked away by Lily in the end, having to turn around and marry a waitress? How ridiculous. I frowned. Before I could reply, Ivy stepped out from behind me, holding a bottle of mineral water in her hand, pouring it directly over Eve's head. The whole store suddenly fell silent. Eve's bodyguards immediately rushed up. I pulled Ivy back and without hesitation, landed a punch on each of them. Eve screamed, David, you just wait and see. I coldly smiled. Eve, you're just a dog running beside Lily. Yet you dare to be arrogant with me? You found the wrong person. Today I will teach you a lesson. Next time you dare to open your mouth and scold my wife, don't expect to have a smooth business again. I've been in this circle long enough. Although I can't compare to Lily, it's not difficult to make Chow Group collapse. Perhaps because I had endured Lily's abuse for too long, they all thought I had no limits. Hearing me say that, even though Eve was angry enough to grind her teeth, she didn't dare to speak anymore. I took Ivy away from there. Outside, she stared at me, then asked, What's wrong? Do you think I was too fierce? No. Dealing with her like that was already being lenient. I just couldn't stand her attitude. I nodded. In the past few years, I've heard enough harsh words. You can say whatever you want about me, but if anyone dares to bully you, I won't let it go. After all, you helped me by having a fake marriage. If you still have to suffer, it's really unfair. Ivy looked at me, seeming to want to say something, but stopped. I touched my cheek. What's wrong? She sighed. Actually, I know about you and Lily. You may not remember me, but I've known you for a long time. We met in high school. I was slightly stunned. Really? In my memory, Ivy was just a classmate from the next class who often liked to be alone and wasn't interested in anything. I didn't expect her to pay attention to me and Lily. She smiled. Back then, I only focused on studying, but everyone in school was talking about you and Lily. At first, I found it annoying, but after listening more, I found it quite interesting. I chuckled. That feeling is not much different from mine. Back then, rumors were everywhere. I also found it annoying. I only found it annoying, not interesting at all. Ivy suddenly became serious, quietly saying, Actually, you two are quite a pity. Hearing that, my eyes suddenly stung. I hurriedly turned my head away, pretending to be indifferent. There's nothing to regret. Life is originally an accumulation of choices. Lily made her choice, and now it's time for me to make mine. Saying that, I handed a set of keys to Ivy. This is the apartment I gave you. It's right next to my house. I've paid for it in full. I've also transferred a year's living expenses to your account. If you need anything else, just tell me. She hurriedly waved her hand. Enough. I haven't even had time to thank you yet. But, David, can you go to the amusement park with me? I've never been before. Go with me tomorrow, okay. Back home, Ivy began to arrange the small items she bought today into her room. My apartment was a spacious penthouse. After renovation, it still retained 2 bedrooms. Ivy stayed in the room next to mine. Not long after, her room was decorated into a space filled with pink. I stood leaning against the doorframe, watching her for a while, then asked, Ivy, do you have any relatives? Do you need me to meet them? She was arranging decorations, paused when she heard that, then shook her head. No. If I'm full, the whole family doesn't worry. I nodded, returning to my room. Not long after, the company assistant called, reporting, President Shin, Lily is competing with us for a plot of land. I calmly said, It's okay. Just give it to her. The assistant hesitated. But President, this plot of land is very important to the company. If we let her have it, our next plan will be disrupted. I curled my lips. Lily definitely wants that piece of land, and we don't have enough financial resources to compete with her. But last month, wasn't Lee Corporation in debt and almost went bankrupt because of her squeeze? I indifferently replied. Then go negotiate for a buyout. The assistant was shocked. You mean you want to directly confront Lily? I chuckled softly. Not confront or not confront. It's just business. Just keep this secret. Don't let others in the company know. But the chairman of Lee Corporation may not value our company. I've met him. He is a man with ideals who has worked hard to build his career for so many years. I think he also doesn't want to see his company go bankrupt. Just go negotiate. Assistant Wang hung up the phone. Just then, I heard Ivy's knock on the door. David, I ordered barbecue. Do you want to eat? I don't eat, but I'm watching a horror movie, a bit scared. Can you sit with me for a while? I sat down on the sofa in the living room, finally witnessing firsthand what it means to be weak but still like to watch horror movies. Ivy wore a flimsy nightgown, sat on the rug, eating barbecue while intently staring at the screen. She hugged her arms, half leaning on the sofa. Every time there was a scary scene, she would panic and lean into me. Her soft hand placed on my leg made me startled, quickly grabbing her wrist. Ivy was also stunned. Then her face flushed. Sorry, I was just too scared. I chuckled. Luckily, I knew your personality beforehand. Otherwise, I might think you have intentions towards me. Ivy glared at me, moving a little further away. She muttered, I have a list of things I want to do. Watching horror movies is the third thing on that list. I guess you have a lot of things you want to do. Yes, time is limited, so I have to hurry. I leaned closer, reaching out my hand towards her. Take my hand. I'll watch with you. Ivy hesitated for a few seconds. Just then, the eerie music in the movie sounded. She immediately hugged my arm tightly. At the same time, my phone rang. I looked down. It was a message from Lily. David, haven't you made enough trouble? If you are willing to stop, I will let you have that piece of land. Don't use her to provoke me. My patience is limited. Come to the villa immediately. I'm waiting for you. I didn't reply. After a while, she messaged again. No one else is here. David, this is the last chance I'm giving you. I looked at the screen, laughed coldly, and typed a message in reply. Lily, after being together for so long, you still don't understand me. When you were weak, I could be by your side, letting you torment me at will. But now that you have succeeded, have gotten everything, once I have chosen to leave, I will never turn back. I put down my phone, turned back to look at Ivy. She had fallen asleep leaning on my arm. I turned off the TV, gently picked her up, and carried her to the bedroom. Just as I finished tucking her in, I was about to leave when I found that she was tightly holding my hand. I have to go back to my room. Ivy suddenly opened her eyes, pitifully looking at me. David, I just watched a movie, a bit scared. Can you stay with me? I glanced at the bed, then turned back and asked, then can I sleep on the windowsill? No, too far. Sleep here. Saying that, she moved over to one side. Don't worry, I won't do anything to you. I chuckled at her words. I'm a man. Do you think I'm afraid of being taken advantage of by you? Saying that, I lay down. Ivy turned her back to me, her whole body stiff. I teased, are you nervous to this extent? She softly replied. Suddenly, the phone rang in the dark night, the piercing sound so jarring that it startled Ivy, making her jump straight into my arms, tightly hugging me. Her body was soft, carrying a faint fragrance, completely different from Lily's strong perfume. Sorry, I forgot to turn off the ringer. I picked up the phone, seeing the name displayed was Lily. Feeling that it was time to be decisive, I pressed to answer the call. Her angry voice immediately rang out. David, do you really want to be like this? I calmly replied, Lily, I think we made it clear at the party that day. Who you are with is irrelevant to me, and likewise, who I marry is none of your business. Those things are just acting, okay? I apologize for what happened that day. Kane is so famous, I couldn't let him lose face in front of everyone. I coldly laughed. What about my face? In your eyes, I can be ridiculed, but only you can't lose face. Lily choked, then growled, what nonsense are you talking about? You are my fiancé, everyone knows that. I can only marry you. I suddenly realized that my views and hers were now far apart, so different that they couldn't be reconciled. But I'm married now. I slightly moved, causing Ivy, who was leaning on my chest, to groan softly. Lily heard that sound. Her voice suddenly raised a few notches. What did you say? David, are you taking revenge on me? How could you let that woman sleep in our bed? Have you touched her yet? I chuckled. She is my wife, also not that woman. Ivy and I are legally married. Whatever we do is none of your business. David, we haven't broken up yet. You can't do this. Lily's voice seemed to lose control. I calmly added a sentence, then let's break up now. From now on, there is no relationship between us anymore. Goodbye. David, You will regret it. I didn't let her continue, directly hanging up the phone. Ivy looked up, asking, "Did I cause trouble?" I gently stroked her hair, reassuring, "It's not related to you. Go to sleep." She softly nodded, then very naturally hugged me and continued to sleep, while I couldn't sleep. I lay there all night, relying on willpower to restrain myself, fearing that if I drifted off, I would do something inappropriate. The next morning, Ivy dragged me, a person with dark circles under my eyes, to the amusement park. As soon as we entered the gate, she immediately went to buy a set of couple outfits. Throughout the journey, she held her phone, taking photos nonstop, happy like a child, not at all like her usual cold demeanor. I suddenly felt a bit of pity. When I was in high school, there were rumors that Ivy was an orphan, no father, no mother, came from the countryside to the city, living with distant relatives. It seemed that the rumors were true. I played with her, one ride after another. It was getting dark when she reluctantly agreed to go back. On the way back, she said her legs were tired, so I carried her on my back. She was very light, reminding me of the days with Lily before. She liked to cling to me, making me carry her, especially when I was on the phone or busy with something. At that time, she would happily hug me and kiss my cheek. I lowered my head, realizing that memories that were once so clear were now gradually becoming blurred. I couldn't even remember her face at that time anymore. "David, I think you are very good. How could Lily not cherish you?" I smiled helplessly. "That's just what you think. Movie stars, CEOs, wealthy families, who is not better than me?" "Who said that? Those people are just pretty vases. I don't even bother to look at them." I frowned. "Do you know them?" No, I don't know them. It's just that when I was a waitress, I met many types of people like that." I shook my head. "Ivy, you are still too naive. Lily has seen a wider world, so in her eyes, I am no longer important." I stopped the car in front of her door, putting Ivy down. She looked at me, blinking, and said, "David, thank you for going with me today. You are the first person to do these things with me. Later, when I have money, I will definitely repay you." I looked at her serious expression, couldn't help but tease, "I will wait." We both burst out laughing. Just as I was about to start the car, there was suddenly a violent collision. I reflexively hugged Ivy, turned my head back, and heard the roar of an engine. Lily was sitting in the car. The front of her car was smashed in one corner, but her cold eyes were still fixed on me. I told Ivy to get out of the car first and check if she was injured. Then I walked towards Lily. "Lily, can you not be so childish? The CEO of Lee Corporation, yet you don't know how to cherish life." She got out of the car, looking at me, saying word by word, "David, I told you, you can't marry someone else." She threw a stack of documents towards me. It was the contract I wanted to sign to buy out the land, and also the financial documents of my company. I smiled faintly. "Lily, I don't care about these things anymore. I am a human being, not your toy." Her eyes suddenly turned red, stepping towards me. "David, I'm injured." Her voice was very soft, no longer the usual sharpness. This sudden change surprised me a bit. "David, don't treat me like this, okay? I really know I'm wrong. I'm sorry for what happened before. That day, I couldn't let Cain lose face in front of everyone, but I also didn't intentionally hurt you." Now, Lily no longer had the slightest demeanor of a powerful CEO. Her beautiful eyes were glistening with tears. There was a bruise on her forehead, with dried blood. I looked at the wound on her forehead, sighed softly. "Go to the hospital quickly, otherwise it will leave a scar." She tightly held my sleeve. "David, take me there." I paused. Lily stepped forward, embracing me. "David, you once said you would never abandon me. Do you remember? We promised to always be together." My whole body stiffened. Ivy stood not far from me. She suddenly smiled lightly. "David, I'm okay. You should take her to the hospital." Saying that, she turned around, waved at me, and then left. Her demeanor was natural and decisive. For some reason, I felt something was wrong. Although Ivy always smiled at me, that smile was a bit forced. I brushed Lily away. "Sorry, my wife is injured. I have to take her to the hospital. And there was a time when I said I would always be by your side, but that was when you hadn't abandoned me. Lily, you were the one who didn't need me first." She was about to hug me again, but I quickly stepped towards Ivy, grasping her hand. Only now did I clearly see the loss in her eyes. Her eyes were a little wet. Seeing me, She immediately buried her head in my chest, her voice choked. David, what are you doing? I don't want you to see me like this. Saying that, Ivy finally burst into tears. I gently stroked her hair. Ivy, are you stupid? No, how could I leave my wife standing alone and turn around to worry about a stranger? Lily, hearing this, her face turned pale. David, even if I make your company bankrupt, you won't change your mind? I calmly replied, this company is originally Nick's. I have withdrawn my investment long ago. And a person who always uses material things to threaten others will not be able to keep what they want for long. Saying that, I led Ivy away, getting into the car. After getting inside, she widened her eyes, moved to the point of speechlessness. David, I think I kind of like you now. I pretended to be serious. Ivy, isn't your liking a bit too fast? She blinked innocently. No, not at all. In high school, I noticed you. In college, I understood you. After graduation, I liked you. This is not considered fast, right? I slammed on the brakes. The car immediately stopped. What did you just say? Ivy shrugged, her tone calm. I said I've liked you for a long time. I just wanted to see how infatuated you were with Lily. Luckily, I didn't wait too long. My heart suddenly pounded. So, I was also worthy of being loved deeply and for a long time like this. Even after seeing all my most difficult times, she still liked me. I wanted to take Ivy to the hospital for a general checkup, but she resolutely said it was okay and insisted on going home. Who knew that as soon as she finished showering, she ran to my room, her eyes both nervous and fiery. David, we're married. We should have our wedding night, right? Do you understand the rules? That night, everything happened naturally like flowing water. We slept until noon the next day, until we were disturbed by a call from Nick. David, something big happened. Lily publicly announced that whoever cooperates with us is her enemy. All previous contracts have been canceled. I reassured him, don't worry, I have asked Assistant Wong to negotiate for the buyout of Lee Corporation. As long as we can complete this deal, we can hold on for a while. I will find a way to attract more investment. Nick paused, suddenly exclaiming, right? Lee Corporation is brought to this point by Lily herself. Her company definitely can't make things difficult for us forever. 3 cobblers with their wits combined equal Zhuge. We just need to persevere. Remember, absolutely do not yield to Lily. Now I'm also making money. At worst, we'll change places and start over. I've been annoyed with her for a long time. Sooner or later someone will take care of her. Ivy chuckled, making Nick stunned. Wait, David, are you still with her? Isn't it fake turned real? I indifferently replied, that's right. If you're free, come to my house for dinner. Saying that, I decisively hung up the phone, turned to ask Ivy, what are you laughing at? She suppressed her smile. Nothing, just thinking Nick is right. Lily is too arrogant. But in this world, there is always someone more powerful. Not long after, I understood what she meant. In less than a day, Nick received news that the Yin Financial Group in Beijing had invested in my company. He called me 5 times to confirm whether the contract was fake or not. I rechecked, confirming it was real. Yin Group was the original investor of Lee Corporation. I didn't know what had happened. Could it be that they had turned against her after this incident? I heard that Lily was so angry that she went crazy. At that time, she was holding a meeting, thinking of ways to destroy my company. Who knew that as soon as she received the news, she immediately went berserk, smashing the whole office, firing a bunch of people for not doing a good job of investigating. Her company was attacked from all sides, making her busy and almost disappeared for 2 months. The next time I met Lily, she was haggard, visibly pale and weak. She stood in front of me, her eyes brimming with tears, her voice pleading. David, I really know I'm wrong. Can you forgive me? Let's go abroad. I don't care about the past anymore. As long as you come back to me, let's start over. I took a step back, coldly saying, C.O. Lee, please respect yourself. My wife is still at home. At this time, Ivy, wearing a flimsy dress, holding a plate of melon seeds, leisurely walked out of the living room. David, is there a guest? Invite her in to sit. I chuckled. No need, honey. She's about to leave. Lily angrily roared, David, in the end, what am I inferior to her? Even if my company goes bankrupt, I'm still 100 times, 10,000 times better than her. I frowned. Lily, please watch your mouth a bit. Ivy widened her eyes, looking at me, then blinked, calling, hubby, who said I'm an orphan? Lily coldly laughed. In high school, who didn't know you were an illegitimate child? No one wanted you. Living with distant relatives, freeloading for so many years, and finally being kicked out. Ivy pretended to be regretful, shaking her head. CEO Lee, you are so good at making up stories. Why don't you go write novels? Your company is bankrupt. You can switch to writing. Ah, no, I shouldn't say that. I'm afraid those writers will feel insulted. Lily was so angry that she wanted to rush forward to slap Ivy, but I quickly stopped her. I pushed her away, coldly warning, Lily, please leave. If you dare to touch my wife again, I won't show any mercy. Lily's eyes turned red, her voice trembling, disbelievingly asking, David, are you pushing me away for her sake? I looked straight into her eyes, without hesitation. If I don't protect my wife, should I protect you instead? Please leave now. Lily's face turned pale. She couldn't believe it, asking again, what did you say? I lowered my head, looking at Ivy, gently placing my hand on her stomach. Honey, let me take you inside. It's windy out here. Lily still wanted to continue making trouble, but suddenly, more than 10 bodyguards stepped in from outside the door, each carrying expensive gift boxes. Ivy and Lily were both stunned. Those bodyguards walked up to Ivy, collectively bowing. Young miss, these are gifts from the old master sent for you. Lily stood rooted to the spot. Young miss. She hurriedly ran over to look at the gift boxes. When she saw the logo on them, her face changed. Impossible. This is the exclusive mark of the Yin Financial Group in Beijing. Impossible. How could she be from the Yin family? Ivy slowly waved her hand. What's impossible? Have you never seen anyone experiencing life before? Just a small company in Wind City, yet you dare to be so arrogant? This is really the first time I've encountered it. She smiled at me. David, thank you. A good man like you. And she still let go. If she wants to keep those flashy guys outside, then let her continue to keep them. We respect her decision. Lily's face was ashen, her body trembling. She frantically screamed, Impossible. David, don't forget, you were the one who betrayed me first. Your family destroyed my family. You can't treat me like this. I seriously looked straight into her eyes. Lily, maybe you've forgotten that you once said we are both victims, but later, you built your happiness on my pain. Remember, I owe you nothing. Lily went crazy, rushing to hit me, but the bodyguards quickly held her tightly, pulling her out. I stood still, adjusted my emotions, then turned to look at Ivy, deliberately sternly. Ivy, it turns out you are the young miss of the Yin family. She immediately became alert, her voice timid. Don't be angry, honey. I planned to tell you a long time ago, but you always thought I was an orphan and pitied me. Your expression at that time was so cute. Her voice became smaller and smaller, quietly observing my expression. I sighed. I'm not angry, nor do I blame you. It's just that I still feel sorry for you for what you've been through. I didn't expect you to have such a past. Ivy happily hugged me, kissing my cheek. That's great. As long as hubby isn't angry, that's good. I chuckled, teasing her. So, you helped our company, right? She pouted, of course. When you get married, you must have a dowry, right? It's just that the dowry is a bit big. I laughed heartily. Then, Lily's company going bankrupt is also your doing? Ivy shook her head. Not me, it's my dad. Before, he invested in Lily because he saw she was ambitious. Who knew she would collude with other companies to sell our information? Plus the matter involving you. My dad just needs to lift a finger to make her collapse. I nodded. So that's how it is. Ivy, you said you've liked me for a long time. Is it true? She seriously replied. Really? Hubby, this question, I will use actions to answer you for a lifetime. Extra. Ivy. Speaking of Ivy, my real name is Ivy Yin. Recently, I've encountered a very troublesome problem. My family is too rich. Every day, my dad forces me to spend at least 1 million a day. It's really tiring. I always admired children in ordinary families, so on my 16th birthday, I made a wish to experience life. I promised my dad that after experiencing it, I would return to inherit the family business. My dad was overjoyed to see that I was willing to care about the company, so he immediately let me come to Wind City. I told everyone that I came from the countryside, living with distant relatives. It's just that I didn't dare to invite friends to my house because the villa my dad prepared for me was really too luxurious, very easy to be exposed. He insisted on making me continue to stay here, otherwise, he would think I was being forced or abused. You understand, right? As a result, just when I had a few classmates who wanted to hang out with me, but after hearing that I came from the countryside and was living with distant relatives, they immediately kept away from me. I just felt they were both shallow and boring. Initially, I planned to stay for only one semester, planning to go home for a trip during the summer vacation. That night, after evening self-study, it rained heavily. I stood in front of the school gate, not carrying an umbrella. At that moment, a tall, slender boy, looking very clean, passed by with an umbrella, glanced at me, but didn't say anything. He just silently handed the umbrella to me, then ran away. I had met many handsome men, but a person who was both clean and handsome like him. This was the first time I saw him. The next day, I found out his name was David Shun, and he had a childhood sweetheart named Lily Lee. The love story of the two of them had spread throughout the school. When I was free, I often pretended to slump on the table to sleep, but in fact, I was eavesdropping on the kids at the next table gossiping about them. I felt like I was reading a novel, wondering what the ending of these two would be like. And I am the type of person who, once I start reading, must follow it to the end. Not seeing the ending, I am not reconciled. So, I decided to cling to my dad, demanding to continue staying. At that time, my dad was very busy. Seeing that I was really starting to study remotely to take over the company, he was so happy that he agreed to let me stay in Wind City. Anyway, before that, he was still worried that I would not be willing to inherit the family business and run away. Just like that, with the mentality of following the melon to the end, Ivy and David entered the same university. They were together, but problems kept arising. It's just that I didn't expect that David could be so infatuated. No matter how much Lily tormented him, he wouldn't break up. I really can't understand this kind of love. Is it masochistic? Anyway, I got annoyed watching it. So, I decided to return to the company, but I didn't give up continuing to observe him through photos and videos. I learned some things. For example, his fingers are very beautiful. When he is quiet, he looks very attractive. In his eyes, besides Lily, there is no one else. After graduation, he and his friends founded a small company, ridiculed by everyone. He didn't explain, laughed at by the world. He just silently worked overtime every night, a strange person. Then one day, I heard news that Lily would bring a movie star to attend a banquet, and David would also be present. So, I decided to pretend to be a waitress to watch the fun. The manager looked at me, asking me why someone as beautiful as me would be willing to work for such a low salary. I didn't think much, casually replying, because I'm short of money. Unexpectedly, that sentence was overheard by David passing by. Immediately after, I quickly went into the private room, and a dramatic scene unfolded. Lily hugged the movie star, kissing in front of everyone. I accidentally bumped into David, and he proposed to me. Oh my God! At that moment, my heart really pounded. For the first time in my life, I felt my heart flutter, but on the surface, I still tried to pretend to be calm. After marriage, David really treated me very well. Every time I took the initiative to approach him, I was afraid that I couldn't control myself. So I came up with a plan, watching horror movies and sleeping together. But this guy didn't react at all, making me start to doubt. Could it be that I have no attraction at all? Fortunately, thanks to Lily's indirect assistance, I finally conquered David. Seeing Lily frantically attacking his company, I could still endure it, but bullying my husband, sorry, in just a few minutes, I can make her bankrupt. As for why I dragged it out for 2 months before taking action against Lily, of course, it was to keep her busy to the point of having no time to pay attention to me, so I could focus on cultivating a successor. When my dad heard the news that the family was about to have a new member, he was so happy that he even arranged names for my grandchildren. No more talking. David has finished showering. I should also go to bed early. Tomorrow, I still have to take him home to meet my dad. Anyway, the story of me and David is still very long. In this lifetime, I will use my own life to answer that question.